and we're going to talk about Unfriended Dark Web, which, oh boy, this
It's
one
a Haxer movie with 3 X's. And then zero instead of an O.
What?
That's how you spell it when you're a real hacker.
Fair enough. I brought this one up thinking it was going to be on our worst movies ever list, and it just kind of turned out to be like, yeah, it's all right. So,
yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it more than I thought it would because I go into horror movies expecting to be very bored.
Yeah.
And I was only bored most of the time.
So a teen comes into possession of a new laptop and soon discovers that the previous owner is not only watching him, but will also do anything to get it back. And so we'll start here. What did you think about the aesthetic of the movie? Everything's done in front of a screen. There's not really any action sequences or anything. All the parties involved are just sitting in front of a screen for the most part.
Yeah, you're not seeing anyone. You're just seeing their Zoom call or their Skype call or whatever. But you're seeing I guess we should probably explain this. You're seeing like a laptop monitor. Yep. So at the top, it's like the little Mac OS box. And then he's moving the windows around the way you do. I mean, it's not the way anyone does. I just alt-tab stuff. He like drags stuff around. This guy uses the mouse really fast.
Yeah.
Honestly, I found it a little. It kind of bothered my eyes just seeing the windows like being flung around.
Yeah. Yeah, it's essentially a screen share of the main character Matthias for the whole time. So. There's points where he shares the screen with everyone in his group chat because they do like a game night where they're playing Cards Against Humanity with each other.
And they're doing it wrong. They don't know the rules. They don't know the rules for Cards Against Humanity. It's a completely unbalanced game when you play it like they do.
Yeah.
It's like playing poker where everyone sees the cards. Like, I'll call. Oh, damn it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But, yeah, I don't know. It was just I guess it's just a way to get in touch with your people. And so did they all know each other from college? Is that what it was? Because I don't know where
they knew each other from the college brochure they came from.
Because everyone was American except we had one British guy. And also, all women in this world are lesbians. So except one, yeah. The only non-lesbian woman is deaf.
To be fair, they're all American and skinny, so it's unrealistic to begin with.
That's fair enough. So, it was written and directed by Steven Susko. And then I have the cast here, so it'll just help when... I don't even remember the characters' names. I know the British guy was Damon, and the main guy was Matthias, but... Jesus, if I know anyone else's name.
I mean, I could guess for a while, but I'm pretty sure I wouldn't get it.
Don't do that. Don't guess.
Amira.
Amaya was the deaf girl.
I was close.
Yeah.
I'm taking that one.
So essentially, Matthias finds a laptop. The weird thing about this one is he goes, it was in Lost and Found for a few weeks. And then the guy who... So this is skipping around a bit. Yeah. But the guy who lost the laptop, he goes, I'll meet you. Give me the laptop back. I'll meet you where I lost it. If you knew where you lost it and it was in Lost and Found for weeks and you were scared that that the other people were going to slash you up, why wouldn't you just go back to the cafe?
Why doesn't a elite hacker with millions of dollars saved in his saved passwords have a password on his laptop?
That drove me nuts. Every single thing that Hacker Boy had, every single account had autofill for a hacker. So weird.
Yeah, I mean, and why did he keep on logging to the wrong Facebook thing? Like, once you log out of Facebook, they have security so that you don't accidentally get back in there.
Yeah.
I I know you can be logged into two Facebook accounts at the same time, but like that takes some browser. Like you have to like have different instances of your browser because the way the cookies work.
Yeah, and as soon as he logs out of the Facebook, so he's getting messages on this Charon guy's laptop on his saved password Facebook, but he logged out of it to talk to his girl. Matthias did logged
Yeah.
out of this, put in his Facebook stuff. So
Yeah,
why
because when
is
you
he
steal
still
a
getting?
computer, you're just gonna like alt tab when like something comes up. You're not gonna like wipe it or anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not keep everything on there? So why was he still getting Facebook messages from the other account while he was, you know what I mean? While he was logged into the other one,
Yeah, well, I
into
mean,
his
they
own.
went to the point of showing Matthias confused about that, so I accepted that as elite hacking.
Okay.
Like they have it set up so that when he logs out, the person who is actually controlling the computer.
Hmm.
Spoilers for this movie. Who's actually controlling the computer just goes and like flips it back
Right.
in order to force the story forward and make the plot almost kind of work, but not really.
Sure. So
How'd they
one,
know he would take it out of the Lost and Found? There's like it's like a $2,000 notebook sitting in Lost and Found for weeks.
yeah,
I mean, isn't someone gonna be like, "Oh, yeah, I need my notebook"? Like when there's valuable stuff in Lost and Found, an employee is gonna tell someone else about it, and then that person's gonna go and pick it up.
yeah,
I mean, you wouldn't just steal it yourself like an amateur.
yeah. And so right in the beginning, when like, we see just the computer screen as the opening intro, and he's just trying the most basic passwords. In Mr. Hacker Boy's elite password skills, his password is just the exact same as his username, which is a question mark, which also pissed me off.
Okay, I did not catch that the password was the hacker's password.
Hmm. What do you
Because
mean?
I mean, I have a note here that says the password was not Kofefe. I should stop watching this movie now.
The password wasn't what?
Well, they had an inside joke in there. One of the passwords he tried was Kofefe,
Uh huh.
which is something that Trump tweeted once.
Oh, I don't know what the hell that is.
Well,
I guess I'm outside of that joke.
it was a pretty funny joke back when it was newer, but
Sure.
I don't feel like explaining an internet meme right now.
Thank you. So, yeah,
I
was
might as well
his
explain damn Daniel while I'm at it.
his username and password were just a question mark for the hacker. So that was great.
I just assumed that was like an opening joke, and then the guy logged into his own username.
No,
But now that like we know that it was all a ploy, like the password was password. Oh my god. Yes. Oh my god. That's he just logged in and started using it. He didn't even try. He didn't even make sure he was logged out.
right.
Like for all we know, the Google like the Dropbox was running in the background the whole time.
Yeah.
Actually, it was.
So let me ask you a question. He tried probably 15 to 20 password attempts. He was just typing random things. Is there no password lockout for Macs?
I've never owned a Mac. I don't know.
It's
I
really
do
weird.
know that I have picked up a friend's iPhone and done the password until they had to wait. I think 2 hours to unlock, something like that. So I know iPhones had it back
Right.
then.
Oh
But
boy.
yeah, I'm pretty sure now they just like look at you, and as long as you say the pledge of Apple, you're in.
How does that one go?
I think it goes. I don't need a headphone jack.
Yep. So one of the things that also bothered me about all this logging in and stuff is that this dude's email address. Do you remember what it was by any chance?
Was it like Benny Hot Wheels or something.
That's close. Matty Fast Wheels with a Z. At least he was at Gmail because that sounds bang on for a Hotmail account. Matty Fast Wheels. They never said why he was Matty Fast Wheels, because later on in the movie when he goes, maybe it's like an ironic thing because he goes to find his girl, and he takes a bicycle with him. So maybe that's why he's Fast Wheels. I don't know.
That's so dumb.
One other
Oh
question
man.
I had on the basic premise of this. Can the dark web even be accessed through Mac? I feel like they have all sorts of like weird blocks in place, and like Apple users are just like, they just want the basic things. So they, you know what I mean?
I is that's the part that's getting you, not the fact, not the fact that the hacker went. Like, do you think the hacker himself, like the one who was like the one who like hit the girl on the head and
Uh-huh.
dragged her off? Do you think he was in on it, or was he acting when he seemed scared?
Oh no, he was in on it. He even says he was at the end.
Oh, I missed that. I thought that he was also being victimized by this super secret hackers. Like,
Nope. Once they all show that it was a ploy, which jumping ahead, but
yeah.
the whole thing was just a setup to start murdering people, I
But I
guess.
mean, but he showed his face on the thing. If the whole point was to frame the kids for the murders, which makes no sense. Like that's a weird that's a weird set of alibis to try and work around.
Yeah.
But if the whole point was to frame them, then why did he show his face? Or like, I mean, what if one of the guys was like streaming or recording the game night? It
Right.
seemed that that whole plot would seem a little bit weird with them all acting like they're being attacked by a hacker,
Yeah.
and then they all get murdered on the stream. They all get like suicided. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Before we jump into all the murders, the deaf girl is a bitch. Okay?
Mhm.
Let's just put that out there.
Okay, he didn't go to the sign language class. Okay,
Yeah, but instead he tried to program an app that translates speech into literal signs.
okay, but he didn't do one that translates signs into speech. Dan, she would still he would talk, and then she would still have to like sit there and fucking type to him. Also, would you
Oh
want to watch that
no.
weird ass slideshow of like it's like hands being thrown at you like you're watching a bad gangster animation?
I don't know. I think I'd rather do that
It'd be
than
like
see him.
watching Data throw gang signs.
But it's better than him just fumbling through. He can't sign for shit, so I don't know. He should have just dumped her silently. At least she can't yell at him. You ever have to dump a girl and she's just pissed, just yelling at you? At least you wouldn't have to hear that shit. She'd just be waving her arms at you. That's fine.
I don't know. I mean, they apparently fell into mad, desperate love over text. So it's a weird breaking point to come at
You could just
during
dump her,
yeah.
take her to the amusement park, get on a roller coaster, dump her there, so it looks like she's just having fun on the ride. Oh man, having too much fun with this. So essentially, the guy that lost the laptop, he he figures it out. He figures out who has the laptop, hacks into the call, all that stuff. I thought it was a really cool touch that when Matthias is messaging with Maya back and forth on Facebook, it makes a little bloop bloop, a little regular sound. But
Yeah.
when the hacker hops in, because he's hacked Maya's account,
Yeah.
it makes a different sound, and it's like a sinister, you know, it has black text or black highlight with white text, and it makes like
Yeah.
a warp sound.
What do you think he would do if Maya had just happened to look at her cell phone when that was going on?
Yeah.
Like he like this plot really hinges on the deaf chick not looking at her cell phone during a subway ride.
Yeah. But I did enjoy that. Like that was a nice touch. And every time like one of the hackers went in front of the of a monitor, they must have had some sort of like device that that warped the cameras or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was all like digitized every time they got in front of it, so you could never see, really who it was.
Yeah, I thought he was like a transformer, maybe.
Yeah,
Like that wasn't a warped photo. That was just actually how he looked at that moment.
sure.
Just
Do you want to
blurry
talk
in real
about?
life.
Do you want to talk about some of the deaths?
Um, I'm trying to think if any of them really stood out to me. I mean, like, so the first death was kind of was pretty surprising because up until that point, everything had just been like weird hacking and vague threats.
Yeah,
But then, Matthias is trying to. I think he was just basically ignoring the guy,
yeah,
and then the guy just goes into his girlfriend's apartment and hits her roommate on the head while she's on camera because apparently roommates just do people just leave live streams on in their apartment with the door open. I'm not a part of this world that they're in where people just leave their camera on. Like, what if she walks by there like trying to go get toilet paper? It's gonna get really awkward.
right.
But
Yeah, I don't know.
fortunately she had her hair and makeup done before she went and walked into her own house, and she walked up to a live stream, and then got fucking knocked out from behind because she was looking at the screen, but she didn't like have picture in picture to see herself. So she didn't notice the blurry man walking up behind her.
Yeah, would she see him as blurry as well?
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying is like he's blurry in real life.
Oh, gotcha. That makes sense. I buy it for some reason.
Unless they're gonna hack, like, okay, I'm gonna jump into the end. Like it took them like 5 minutes to do a really shit job of copy and pasting Matthias's well lit face into a photo taken in the dark.
Yeah,
And like they did it slowly, and it looked like a shitty thing that like oh, I'm gonna cut my head off and like put it on this on the front of a magazine so it looks like I'm really muscled.
right.
They do that thing and send that to the cops. But while they're live, they're just gonna blur someone's face as he runs around, committing assaults, running down the street, doing that to police CCTV and hospital room cameras, which I didn't know hospitals had cameras pointing at the people during cancer treatments. Like
They
so that
don't.
camera just running when someone's having their pan changed or whatever.
Maybe there was an incident where like there was like some attacks on the gas or the patients or something.
Yeah,
I'm
and
just
so they
trying to
just
work
hooked
it in
that
there.
camera up to the internet.
Yeah.
Let me just hook it up to the router and send it. Yeet.
Yep. It's
No
not
wonder our
it's not
information's getting hacked
anything.
all the time.
This is a live stream to Facebook, so enjoy.
And let's see, one of the other deaths was the guy who thought that the hackers couldn't find him. He's like, I'm blacked out on the internet, guy, so do your best. And then they do that weird like voice thing where they take random clips.
Yeah.
Basically, if you ever seen someone do like a voice box screen where you just go through and like take someone saying something. So like you
Yep.
take the word something there from me and you go back 2 episodes and find me saying like shoot him.
Yeah.
And then like you're clipping me saying, someone shoot him. Someone shoot him. And it's different recorded different times of day, different inflections, but apparently they did it so well that 911 sent a SWAT team in 8 minutes to go and
Yep.
shoot a guy in the chest.
Yep. Because he
But
also takes a shotgun sound and plays it.
yeah, and yeah, so But kids, if the SWAT team's ever coming to your house, maybe don't run up the stairs with your hands up.
Yeah, pretty much. Especially if you live at home. Let your mom grab the door. And the other weird thing was that it just, I mean, it sounded okay, I guess, the voice thing to the cops, but it was like, oh, we sent this 10 minutes ago. It's like, all right. The cops came in. He's standing at the bottom of the stairs with his hands up. They play the shotgun music or shotgun clip, and they just start wasting him. I
Yeah.
just thought at that point, I'm like, thank you for not having this be the black character. This would have been a disaster. uh, that's all that could go through my head. The Asian girl, I forget her name, Lex Putri, whatever. She gets pushed off a roof. It's a very anticlimactic death. How'd she get up there? I don't know. Why?
They
Why is
hacked
she
her
standing
cell
on the wall?
phone GPS. She thought she was going to the police station. She was actually just
It's like turn left here. She's like, wait, why are there
I mean,
stairs?
is that any unrealistic than the guy not hearing a truck coming? Well,
Oh my god, that was really stupid.
if you've ever
Um,
been outdoors, you know a dump truck's really fucking loud.
yeah. So
And it's the
they're
middle of the night. There's no traffic. He sat in that road for like 9 minutes.
that's what he gets. I wish that the ending of that. So we'll get to that, but I wish the ending was just some random pizza guy that accidentally ran him over. Like he was just sitting in the fucking street for no reason. So that would have been the perfect ending if it had nothing to do with those guys. Just like, well, I didn't see you. You're wearing all black. That would have been great. So the really hot blonde there, she has to. This is a trio of deaths, a really stupid trio. So she has to choose between her mother who has cancer in the ICU and her fiance.
Yeah.
Like one lives, one dies, and she doesn't choose. So in essence, she chose them both to die.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they're just gonna kill both of them anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
So
they couldn't. I mean, it's not even a real choice. Like, they were obviously gonna kill everybody.
right. They pull the plug on the mother. Well, I guess maybe they wouldn't have killed the mother because what's the point? But
I mean, I don't think they installed that camera yet. I mean, I guess so. I mean, this movie's. I couldn't imagine like them writing this and them saying like leaving someone alive.
yeah, that's fair. But she doesn't choose, and they both die. The fiance gets pushed into the oncoming train that Amaya's on. I think she pulls the guy with her, though. I think she takes him out too, based on that little. It looked like she grabbed him, and they both went, but the camera cuts away, so you don't get an exact closure on that. But that would be pretty cool if she took him out with her.
Now, I've never like lived anywhere with like for a long time with public transportation, but is it common habit to just stand next to train tracks?
Um, yeah, in New York City they do. They don't give a shit. It's like stand behind the yellow line. People are standing on the yellow line inches away, and I think they're in LA, so I would assume it's the same.
I mean, it just seems.
It seemed really stupid to normal people, but if
I
you're
mean,
in
okay, even if I was in a horror movie, I probably wouldn't take the subway. If I
yeah,
was in a horror movie, I wouldn't take the subway. But if I'm in a regular like life, I don't think I'm going to stand 2 feet away from a train if I have any choice in the matter.
yeah, and that's the thing. She knows people are coming for Amaya, so why would you just stand with your back towards everybody 2 feet from the opening? It was really stupid. So my least favorite death, because this one was just really fucking lame. The British guy, Damon, he's talking shit to the hackers, and he's like, "Oh, I got your number. I'm gonna upload everything and all that stuff." And they show him that they're framing Matthias. They all that stuff. We cut away. We cut
Yeah,
back.
I mean, he should be able just to record that happening, I would think.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I just recorded you framing them. That seems, and I uploaded it to YouTube or wherever you send evidence. I mean, there are websites where you can upload things to, like, I think, yeah, like the ACLU, you can upload evidence to their servers and like they'll look at it before they delete it.
Yeah. And
this has been a public service announcement.
We cut away, I think, to Matthias for a little bit. And then we cut back, and Damon's not in his chair. And you just see some dude, like, grabbing a rope. And, like, could you imagine the type of strength you need to pull a 200-pound man up and hang him over a door, like, from dead weight position? He was laying on the ground, and he slowly dragged him up over the door, which Damon must be a very, very short man because he hung him from his door to the bathroom. If your head was like a couple inches from the top of the door, would your feet touch the ground? Because mine certainly would.
Let's see. Average door height.
Probably what, 6'3", 6'4"?
6 feet 8 inches is the height of common doors.
6'8"?
Yeah.
What the hell? But yeah, it just seemed really weird. Maybe he's like 5'5".
Well, no, I mean, I think even if you're like, I mean, if you're anything below 6'5", I think you're gonna be free hanging because, like, how far do your toes point?
But he didn't have him at the top of the door either.
Oh, how far was from the top of the door was he?
I don't know. It just seemed like there was a significant amount of space, maybe 6 inches, 6-8 inches.
I mean, some places have taller doors. I've seen tall doors before.
But just the strength of this skinny hacker boy to fucking deadlift this dude from ground position with a rope.
No, he hacked the rope.
Oh, I gotcha. That makes more sense now. Okay.
I mean, does it make less sense than anything else in this movie?
No, it doesn't. But
I hacked in and turned off your mother's stuff. Like, wait, why isn't EKG hooked up to the internet? Yeah. What? Who the? Like, I don't even get like. Like, I've got an app for my EKG. Boop! Oh crap! I can unplug mom from Hawaii.
Whoops. So, Amaya dies, right? They lead her into that building with some more hacking.
Jesus. Yeah, because, you know, in the middle of the night, when you're in a fight with your boyfriend, he's gonna text you a random address.
Yeah.
While you're on a video call, you're on, like, imagine if we were talking right now, like, just pretend we're having a conversation, and I sent you a message saying, "Go outside and hit yourself with a bat."
Yeah.
Would you be like, "Oh man"?
I guess he really needs me to hit myself with that bat and then go in this weird dark building with graffiti on the side.
Yeah,
I trust him.
Yeah, you just wouldn't even like consider looking into your microphone and saying, "Hey, Jerry, what's going on with that?"
Yeah. And then when she goes, "Hey, you text me a new address," and he's like, "No, I didn't." Like there's your alarm right there.
Oh, why am I going to this address? I didn't send that. And then she just stops listening. Like,
yeah,
I guess she never was listening. She stops looking at the camera.
Are you even listening to me? Oh man, we have fun here. So, I think it was the same building also from the video where the guy set out the water to, you know, when they're looking through those videos on the laptop, and the girl, it's such a dick move. The chain holding the girl is like, let's say 10 feet long. He puts the chain at like 10.7 inches or 10 feet 7 inches, and the girl can't reach the water.
Does she not know she's chained up? Like, she runs at it like a retarded pit bull. Or like a greyhound, maybe. I don't know. She's like,
yeah. She was hustling for that water, though. I'll give her that. So it turns out the whole thing was a setup. They wanted someone to grab. That was one thing I wasn't clear on. Did they want Matthias to grab the laptop, or did they want someone to grab the laptop?
I mean, the whole thing doesn't work if you don't have someone. So my understanding is, in order to frame a group of people for it, one of them has to be smart enough to like copy the videos and accidentally save them as incriminating evidence.
Yeah.
So if they just gave it to someone who isn't Skyping a card game,
Right.
then it doesn't work. It doesn't work with one person unless they had like multiple plans. Like, okay, plan A, if a single woman from Nebraska gets it, we have this series of weird events. If this guy who only plays CSGO on Twitch to one viewer does it, we do it this way. If a mother of three gets it, this is our plan here. We're gonna need someone to pose as a 12-year-old soccer player. If a barista from Starbucks gets it, well, this. It's all gets weird. We're gonna need 5 blondes from Norwegia.
Right.
We're gonna need 5 blondes from Norway that speak French to really get this going.
Yes.
So let's hope that doesn't
Yes,
happen.
we do.
It doesn't happen. If a Japanese guy gets it, we're gonna have to call in our outside forces and get him deported. But on the off chance that that a hipster who gets into a phone call with 2 lesbians, a conspiracy theorist, and a guy in the UK who knows how to handle knows how to handle a terabyte of data over a normal residential internet connection does it, then we'll send this guy to New York. We need to make sure he can curl 200 pounds with one hand.
Right. Man.
Yes, I'm assuming they just had every demographic broken down that could possibly stolen the laptop.
Yeah. Well, so there's a vote where Matthias' life hangs in the balance, right? On the shoulders of thousands of internet weirdos. Is there a person in the world that would survive that vote? No, is the answer.
I'm thinking.
I mean, all these freaks, like, imagine you put that poll out to Twitter for anyone. Nobody would survive it. Because it's just full of consequenceless actions, you know? The consequence is the death of this man. But they don't care. They're just avatars, you know? They're NPCs. So,
I mean, is it even a real vote, or is the vote like hacked?
I don't know. But as they're casting the vote, the creepy laugh on Matthias's face was, ugh. He was just like hysterically laughing because it was just nuts.
Yeah, so. Matthias has the same amount of self-preservation that this movie has plot consistency.
Right.
He's like, oh, they're gonna murder me. Well, definitely don't look around and see a dump truck coming towards me.
Yeah, and so he's hit by the truck and end of movie. So,
how did they know when the voting would be? No, the voting had a countdown on it, so they knew when the guy started driving. He's like 3 blocks away. All right, go. Yep. Did they have the lights planned out too? Like, if there had been a red light, that truck would have been late.
Right.
Because they're in the city, so there's stoplights, and he was going pretty fast. Like that truck
got some momentum. Yeah.
You think the truck like 0 to 60 that, or do you think like they did like a right on red to make sure they got there on time?
They were hacking the traffic lights to make sure they were all green.
Oh, of course. Right after they hacked the hospital equipment, they hacked the traffic light because you can turn those off using Wi-Fi.
Hey, Tim Oliphant did that in Die Hard 4, so I believe it.
Isn't that the movie where like they took a helicopter out with a car?
Yes.
Like Die Hard 4 ramp.
Coming soon. I fucking love that movie. No, he didn't drive up a ramp. He drove it up a toll booth. Destroyed a helicopter with it. All right. Let's. Do you have any other notes on this movie before I give you some stats and some little tidbits?
Yeah, I think if you want to watch this movie, I think the best way to do it would be to watch it on a laptop. I think it make it seem more real.
Yeah.
Because like I watched it on a big screen and it's on like a little monitor type thing, so I think that might make the scale of it better.
Sure. Of course. Yeah, I like it.
But yeah, I mean, it's the moral of the story is if someone threatens to kill your girlfriend and you steal their money, just go ahead and turn off your computer and run away.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay, so the revenue for this movie, the original theatrical release date was July 19th, 2018. Domestic box office, $8.8 million. International, $7.5 million. For a total of $16.4 million. The production cost was $1 million. So they made their money back 16-fold. And so far...
I mean, tip of the hat for getting. I would have guessed the movie cost more than $1 million.
Really?
So, I mean, yeah, I think they did a pretty good job on the production.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't have any named actors really, so
compared to some of the other movies we've seen with higher production costs.
yeah, that's fair. China salesman. So the Blu-ray and digital so far has made $133,468. So there will most likely be a sequel. The director did mention a sequel, but has not confirmed. And there are 3 alternate endings for this movie. And I was planning on reading all 3 if you'd like to hear them.
Sure.
Okay, here we go. So this is the originally planned ending. So Matthias texts Maya to meet him where they shared a kiss. And this is what we get in... This is not the change part. So he arrives at the site only to find a hole in the ground with an open casket before Charon knocks him out. Amaya arrives and calls Matthias, who is woken by his phone. He realizes that he's buried alive and tries to text Amaya, but the circle changes all of his messages. When he attempts to video chat, the circle pixelates his mouth, so Amaya can't read his lips. And then it says his fate is unknown as the film ends before Amaya even realizes the situation. His fate is pretty known if he's been freaking buried alive.
No, haven't you seen Kill Bill? You can just...
Yeah, I've seen it, but I can't.
If you softly tap a casket for 10 minutes, it just cracks open and you can just walk right out of there.
And the dirt just pours through so that you can swim out.
Like an earthworm.
Yeah. That's just... I can't deal with buried alive.
You never gone swimming?
Yeah, all the times. But I just, like, in movies, it just freaks me out. So I would not be into that one.
Just got to Scrooge McDuck that.
And in terms of the DVD, there are 2 alternate endings separate from this one. Matthias texts Amaya, Jesus, these are hard to say, to meet him where they shared a kiss. She arrives while several hidden Charons film her. Just as Matthias arrives, the Charons come out of hiding, restrain the duo, and launch a poll to decide their fate. Okay, so this time it's both of them. A majority of the members vote no, but a group message is posted by Charon9 titled "They Earned It," they_earned_it.mv4, along with a recording of Matthias bargaining for Amaya's life with Charon4 using his money. This earns the circle's respect. They release the 2 and embrace. So that one's the happy ending, right?
I mean, okay.
Yeah. In the second DVD ending, Matthias locates the warehouse where the Charons took Amaya. She is nowhere to be found and all hope seems to be lost. He finds a revolver on the floor and appears to begin contemplating suicide. A Charon launches a poll for the circle to debate whether Matthias will kill himself. The film ends before he makes the decision. Yikes. That is a really stupid one. What's your favorite out of the 3? Or let's go favorite out of the 4. Include the actual one in there.
I guess the contemplating suicide would be my favorite.
Okay, fair enough. I like the freakiness of the buried alive thing. I just don't want to watch it. It just freaks me out. But yeah, on IMDb, there are 21,774 ratings, and it receives a 5.9 out of 10. So, do you recommend this movie?
I mean, I guess it's not terrible as far as kind of horror thriller movies go. It's a movie that I spent a lot of time like when I was watching, I was like, "What's going on here?" That doesn't. If these things are true, why this? Why I was trying to figure it out, and then the movie just unravels itself at the end. Like it might as well have been a dream
Yeah.
in terms of plot and writing. So the ending kind of like, okay, we've been hacking everything. Oh my god.
Yeah. And it makes it seem at the end like there's like because they show all the videos of the Charons just like everywhere. So it just makes it seem like there's some sort of weird like underground hacker thing that where there's gonna be like 10 more of these movies. So
Yeah, I mean it. I mean the movie. If they had just tied things together a little bit better,
yeah.
it could have been, a pretty legitimate thriller, I think. But they just didn't spend any time thinking with the old brain noodle. They
Right.
just they said we need to do freaky stuff and have people react to it,
Yeah.
and that's it. And then that's how the movie goes.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
we're gonna. It's very hand wavy, which I mean, a lot of movies do that with like magic or magic. And in this case, it's hacking is magic.
sure. The thing about this movie is that in a world where technology is like king, it does freak me out a little bit to think that someone could just hack into your computer and just watch you. So, that part it does have some reality like built in, not necessarily to this level, but there is something to it. And I would say it's a recommend for me if the concept is okay with you. So we just went through the whole movie and everything with the exception of a few bits are done just looking at people's faces. And in that sense it's done well. Would I want to see a bunch of movies done in this manner? No. But as a nice change of pace to what we're used to, I actually I mean, I liked it compared to especially what I thought it was going to be, but I liked it compared to a lot of these other movies, in the same vein where it's like there's a threat, people die, the end. You know, I
I mean,
I would
I
say
wouldn't
it's
mind. I wouldn't mind watching one of these if it was done well. Like I enjoy movies where like the bad guy is really smart.
yeah,
I like them less where the bad guy is smart because he's magic. Like, oh, I foresaw that you would go down this street and step on a penny.
yeah,
It's no, if they do it really, if you do the bad guy well, I think I would enjoy this type of movie.
yeah,
But if you're not gonna bother to write a story that kind of makes sense, because this is in our world. We're using VoIP right now. We have cell phones. We have laptops. This is not like Star Trek.
right,
They're trying to make us something happen basically in a world that we inhabit. So you can't just have like cars and cell phones doing weird stuff for no reason. You have to explain it, or it takes me out of the movie.
yeah, yeah, and that's kind of part of the
This is
allure.
Fast and Furious 12 hacking.
Yeah, that's all you can go next, except you can go to space. That's it. Um,
I'm gonna jump off the Golden Gate Bridge and fly the car to the moon.
yeah, as long as you use that same toll booth that Bruce Willis uses. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's worth a watch. It's a bit creepy to think about, and typically I don't get freaked out that much, but this one resonated a little bit more than the rest of them do. So yeah, give it a shot. I mean, if you're bored halfway through, you're essentially going to know what you're getting as soon as you start watching the movie. So just give it a shot. It's $4 to rent on Google Play, and I think $12.99 to buy. I rented it. I will not be purchasing this movie. I did watch it in two sittings, by the way, because I started it with the wife, but she ended up like falling asleep. I was like, all right, I'll wait for her. She ended up having to go to work. I'm like, I gotta finish this, or else my 24 hours is gonna be up, and I gotta rebuy it or re-rent it.
Oh, she
So
missed the ending.
yeah, lucky her. So all right, we are gonna wrap it on up here. Hope you enjoyed the show. We got some. We're gonna be doing 3 episodes a week for the foreseeable future. We got a bunch. I think I have one more I'm posting tomorrow. This one will be up Saturday, and then we have we have a few more recording over the next couple days. So we'll be pumping it out here. So
you'll know it's the end of our recording week when I'm sounding a little bit hoarse.
Yeah, for sure. So we youtube.com/c/media men. I'm gonna try and cut up these episodes as much as I can, and upload them in chunks. And then mediamen.podbean.com for full episodes. Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes so Jeremy can recite the Mike Tyson speech about his tribe, and I will watch Jurassic Thunder. And again, with the back of my head, I'll stream it so that you guys have to watch it with me. And that's about it. We will catch you guys next time with what's on our next one here.
The Avatar, not the movie, the series, and the movie The Foreigner with Jackie Chan.
Sounds good. We will catch you guys then.
Until next time.